What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis here, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are here for the Champions of Galar Tournament Season 2 Week 8 battle when we go up against Lars, aka Scizor, coach of the Borussia Donphan. He is somebody that is probably the most well-known name when it comes to thinking how further along away he has been playing Draft League scene. He is one of the only coaches, to be honest, at the moment that plays in Draft League scene that was part of the original Draft League called the GBA, which was, funnily enough, a league that I, of course, watched back in the day, and is big reason why I'm here today playing this format still to this day. And it is really cool opportunity to play him in a Wi-Fi scene. The first time I've actually played him once in a showdown scene before, and he actually did pretty well versus me that time around with a set that he brought. But I'm hoping that now in a Wi-Fi scene, here in a Generation 8, things will go better for me. This is gonna be a matchup that I believe he's gonna be in a very top position to try to win, because he is still pretty much in a mix of playoff race. But he's in a situation that he is kind of must-win situation. He's currently sitting at 3 and 4. So he does have to win, in my opinion, his last 2 games to remain in a playoff race. So he's gonna be coming all out in itself, and the matchup you should be seeing right about now on your screen. You can see the 6 that I'm kind of predicting, but it's actually a matchup that is hard to predict what 6 are coming, because he has a lot of viable mons versus me, and I feel like it's the kind of same way for me. There were a lot of mons for me as well on the table that I could have brought, and the team of 6 you can already see from my layout in itself on the left side what 6 I'm bringing. But let's go through the sets very briefly, and then we go and see how this battle is turning out. We are starting with a defensive leftovers Landersterian with Earthquake, Stealth Rocks, Knockoff and U-Turn. This is here just to be a kind of like a defensive pivot in a way that it can swap into Psychic 50% hit. So I could have brought something like a Serena as my crash type to deal with Psychic, and I have access to Triple Axle. But versus a lot of his other mons on his team, it was pretty rough bring for me for this matchup, at least currently how I've been seeing it as and going into this battle. So I have to use Landersterian as a soft check to that and try to use it to get up Stealth Rocks. And next mon on our team is going to be on the Crossman, which is going to be defensive Calm Mindset with Lumberry, with Photo Geyser and Heatwave in itself. Basically, I only need my Photo Geyser combined with Heatwave to hit everything on his team neutrally or super effectively. Because his only resistance to Psychic are steel types like Bishop and Scummery, and they will not enjoy taking a Heatwave in itself. So this can be a pretty big like a breaker, but it's also a nice bulky mod that can take most of the hits from Psychic if necessary at +1. It can take a +2 Brave Bird from Halucha after Stealth Rocks and blow it back. So in a pinch it can also be a failsafe for something that's scary from his end, but most importantly it's very strong with its setup in this matchup in itself. Then we are gonna be bringing our Gale Wings, Heavy Duty Boots, Talonflame with Brave Bird, particularly just for the Halucha so I can revenge it right away. I do need potential chip on it if it's the Crashy Seed combined with Tapu Bulu. So rest of my team has to be able to provide some chip to it in order for me to kill it if he still has the +1 defense. If he goes for close combat and neutralizes his defenses, then I should be fine by clicking Brave Bird. Then we have Flamethrower just to hit the Scummery harder and without taking a big recoil while at it compared to Flare Blitz, for example. U-Turn for the initiative, and Toxic is there just in case if I need to get a fast Toxic off something like a Rotom Heat, Vaporeon, Psychic 50% for example. It's just nice to have that option there, because I didn't see opportunity for me to play Roost for example too often. So I figured that Toxic is nice to have as a last ditch effort move if I need to utilize it. And let's say Halucha is already taken care of, or it's not in the matchup and I need the thing in front of me to be on a timer, I have the option there with the Talonflame. And then we have our Weezing, which is gonna be Levitate, Rocky Helmet, similar set that I did versus a Patmac a couple of weeks ago, with Flamethrower, Pain Split, Taunt, and Toxic Spikes. This is kind of banking on the fact that Galar Slowbro would not show up, which again, barring honestly his first 3 Pokemon, like Psychic, Scummery, Rotom Heat, that I kind of feel most comfortable saying that I should be seeing today, he has a lot of options to see what these latter 3 mons could be. And there is an opportunity that Galar Slowbro may not come, and off the chance that is the case, Toxic Spikes would be very nice for me to have to get things like Vaporeon and Psychic for example on a timer, or even Tapu Bulu in itself if it's gonna be coming into this game, it will be affected by those. So having just Toxic Spikes up as a potential option that way would be really nice. Other than that, it's good there to be a physical wall. For things like a Bishop to be able to take a one hit in a pinch. I should be taking hits from Tapu Bulu relatively well. I can take hits from like Glacier a little bit as well. But I do have some decent amount of speed investment, so I can prevent a defog from Skarmory or him getting a passes in front of me by clicking Taunt in itself. So that's pretty much the Weezing in itself. And then probably one of my better mods in this matchup, thankfully, being my favorite Pokemon Hydreigon and mascot of the team. And I would call it a team captain at this point as well. Like, just to give all the privilege and luxury to Hydreigon in itself, embracing it in itself. We have a Chopo Berry this week as our item, just to be able to take a one big low kick from Marowak if it's a Trick Room paired with Galar Slowbro, which could be threatening. It can also cover a potential fighting move from a Choice Scout Bishop if that could be a thing. It also lets me take a hit from Halucha, so if I have a nasty plot up, I can take a hit. If he goes for a close combat, +2 flamethrower should be taking it out unless he has a heavy SPDF investment in itself. So it's pretty nice there. Similar to similar to my Necrozma that I have. It only really needs one of its stabs and pair it with a fire move. Because all of his dark resistance, barring Halucha in itself, which I can take it out at +2, are weak to fire, like Tapu Bulu and Bishop together share a fire weakness. So it's pretty nice there as having that one form of coverage that deals with the things that I don't click Dark Pulse on. And then we have Roost for the longevity, because this can also take a pinch in important hits, something like from Rotom Heat if necessary. Which can be annoying if he does bring it to this matchup. And then the last member of the team is gonna be Raikou. This mon actually was not all but certain to be coming into this matchup. There were a lot of Pokemon on the table that I could have brought. But I opted to go with Raikou with heavy duty boots, because I did few mocks to this. I didn't get as many mocks as I would have liked to necessarily this week, due to time constraints for my behalf and the people that I do rely on. And with that, I decided that, you know what, I'll go with the mon that has been consistently doing well for me, compared to some other sets that I could have used in this position. And maybe in a playoff scenario, I could utilize them either in Raikou's place or somebody else's place that I have currently on my team. But Raikou in itself, in theory on paper, does have a pretty decent matchup, because you consider the things that are like immune to electric and would be or resisting electric that will swap into me. They don't like Scald necessarily. Think about Psychic, that is a physical attacker. It doesn't like risking itself with being Scald burn unless it's a Lumberry or Restock set. Tapu Bulu is a physical attacker naturally, so it doesn't want to get burnt either, because then it's gonna be crippled down. Rotom Heat being his electric type is weak to water, so it doesn't like Scald either. So with that considered in place and consider what kind of speed it provides for my team, it should be outpacing everything barring any kind of Scuffer or Halucha. So it can be very important in that matter. A lot of his defensive mons like Skarmory or Vaporeon, for example, don't like necessary electric either, and he has Tornadus Incarnate that I could potentially see if he doesn't bring Halucha as his offensive flying typing. So just having something to be able to revenge those kind of things would be nice. And then I have Toxic as well, similar to Talonflame, that I can either utilize it to predict the switching to this mon and go for that instead of if I'm clicking like Scald or Volt Switch for the initiative. And getting a timer on the Psychic in itself can be also big, or Tapu Bulu, because that means the Landers there can easily deal with a Psychic that is on a timer, because then it cannot really like start one-ing me with a Cold Set, for example. Or if Tapu Bulu is his response and especially defensive, that can also be annoying to my Hydreigon. With the Toxic, at least I keep racking it down and keep it low on health in itself. So I figured this would be still a solid mon to bring. And that's pretty much the team of 6. And now we're gonna be seeing how this battle is gonna be turning out. Alright, here we are with the battle versus Lars, aka Scizor. He's coming into this with 3-4 record and I'm sitting at 5-2. It's a must game for him. I would like to also win, because this probably means that I will be clinched for playoffs. So let's go and see what he does bring. I have to edit the layout on the right side, based on the fact that if there's gonna be some things that I do get wrong, and we do get some wrong. I believe the one that I see being wrong is the Rotom Heat. And something else as well, Halucha is also wrong. So we put Vaporeon here. And we also see the when it comes to my own lead, I'm gonna be probably still leading with my Raikou in itself. Or do I lead with it? I think so, because I don't want to lead with Landorus, giving an Intimidate for the Bishop in itself. So I think this would be the lead. And then I'll check the last one. I have 40 seconds, so the Halucha needs to be Slowbro. Galar. Okay. So some things we got right and some things we did not get right, but it's okay. This was kind of the matchup I was kind of like not certain what 6 I could be expecting to see, but I'll lock these in and write down the mons that he brought. So we had the Saiga, Skarmory, going based on what I have in the layout, Vaporeon, Bulu, Slowbro Galar, and Bishop. Okay. Let's see how this goes. In a matchup like this, Raikou's role is really just try to get a timer on Saiga if possible. He leads with the ban, which is right away the Saiga. So this could be actually banded lead, the way he's leading with it. So I'm gonna be right away going to my Landorus to scout that, if it is banded or not. So Saiga is the lead, and we just go into our Landorus and see what kind of damage this is gonna be doing to us. Probably with 1000 arrows, I would imagine. He's just clicking right away because he sees that I don't have a Serena. He goes for Toxic. Okay, he's Toxic set. Okay. This could be like Toxic Protect kind of thing, or Substitute. I think how I get most out of the turn is getting Stealth Rocks first, because he could be clicking Protect or swap into Skarmory on this. I'll get up my rocks first, as he just hard withdraws. Probably into Skarmory. Yep. There's the Skarmory. And I'll be getting up my Stealth Rocks. He might go for Defog, or he's gonna be getting up his own hazards here. But I believe my swap in here would be my Weezing. Because then I can taunt the Galar Slowbro swapping in if needed to. But we see this Skarmory coming in. Or that it was in the field, or versus my... Yeah, he does go for Stealth Rocks, okay. So... that is the extents that we see. I could see the Vaporeon or the Slowbro Galar coming in. The other option would be Saiga, so in a way I kinda wanna go into my Necrozma. So I think I'll do. He is faster than me, so my speed creeping does not work. As he goes into Vaporeon. Okay. So as this thing comes in, it could have Toxic, but I have Lumberry. So I could go for Calm Mind right away. Or I could swap into Weezing first. So I don't know if I should be Calm Minding right away. I think I go to Weezing to scout the Toxic. I don't want to pop the Berry just yet. Now thinking about it, I knew I was talking about like Vaporeon potentially swapping it, but for now I think I use this as the... as he goes for Flip Turn. That's actually fine, because now I get Rocky Helmet chip on this. Okay. So Vaporeon is Flip Turn. Next time around though, in a similar situation, I can utilize Calm Mind instead. So he has Toxic on the Saiga, he has Stealth Rocks on Skarmory, Flip Time for Vaporeon. That's what we have seen thus far. Okay. We do see something else, which is the Galar Slowbro. This could be a Calm Mind set. He could also be clicking Ice Beam. I think my play to this is my Necrozma, because I have Morning Sun and Calm Mind. If I need to 1v1 this. I don't want Hydreigon necessarily taking damage in this, because Hydreigon actually has a pretty nice looking matchup outside of like having to do a lot of damage to Bulu. Like I would need to get a Nasty Plot up at some point. And potentially get Vaporeon on a timer. At this point actually Talonflame Thrower would be actually getting up by a Toxic on the Vaporeon whenever I have a chance. He does go for the Shell Shout Arm. This does decent amount of damage. But I can Morning Sun here. If the Vaporeon is the answer to be a slow flip turner, I can take advantage of that. I wonder what his play from here would be. He cannot really click like Shadow Ball too freely, because I could be Weakness Policy and that would be very scary for him looking at his team. Yeah, like Talonflame and Raiku's speed on Ice in this matchup in a way, but both of them I just need to get some recovery of. Okay, the Zygarde comes in to Toxic me probably. But I don't think I want to pop that berry just yet. I'll get my recovery for now. I think we should be seeing leftovers potentially here. We do see leftovers. So leftovers Zygarde with Toxic on it. And I'll just use the Landers as a swap in. Because then I can use the opportunity to go for a U-turn with it. Position myself in a way that I get Hydro Raikou or Talonflame in versus Skarmory. And then I can get up a Toxic. Substitute. Okay. So he's sub-Toxic with it. But him having Substitute is actually decent in a way that if he doesn't have Protect, I can... him substituting down will put him in a range of my Hydreigon's Dark Pulse. But at this point I'll be just clicking Earthquake. Getting myself in a position that Hydreigon can come in for free. As he is the sub-Toxic Protect set then, okay. He is faster than I am, I believe, with the leftovers, because he gets them first, yeah. So he's faster than me. See, so he could go for a... He could go for the arrows here. But I'll just break this up for now. Yeah, mainly I just need to get this thing, the Zygarde on a timer with Toxic, and the Vaporeon, which would be the big deal. As that does do a decent amount of damage, which is a little annoying. So this Landorus is not... Oh, that's why, because he crit it. That's pretty rough, because that means I'm gonna be dying a lot sooner. Do this thing 1v1. And he's pretty free to click Protect again, but I don't know how I should be playing around that potential. He could also just arrows me, to be fair, so I think I'll just Earthquake here, because he could be also just going for straight for attack, but... Unfortunately this... Or he subs down again. Which I guess covers me swapping out, but I'll break this up at least, I believe. Yeah, I'll break this up at least. This does mean that my way of dealing with this actually is pretty... Yeah, it's pretty much... We are not dead just yet. He should be going for 1000 arrows here. So I don't think I'm gonna be like making a swap play. I'll click knockoff. I don't think he subs down again. Yeah, he just protects. So unfortunately my Landorus does go down, but I do have at least Stealth Rock, so at least I got something out of it in that way. But I believe the way I should... How should I go about this? Because I could go into Hydreigon, Nasty Plot. Or I could go into the Necrozma and Calm Mind. Which one do I like better? The other option is to go into my Talonflame actually. To land the Toxic with that. But I think right now the Hydreigon would be the play, because this should be forcing him out at least. So I think I'll do the Hydreigon play. This should realistically force in either the Bulu or the Vaporeon. If it's the Vaporeon, I can honestly just go for a big damage here, but I'll Nasty Plot here. I have to force some progress with this. And it's the Skarmory actually. So he doesn't value this thing anymore because the Landorus is dead. But this is a free Nasty Plot for me, and I'm actually in a really nice spot, because this means that the Skarmory should be dead. Or anything else in the matter. Because I don't think anything in the back wants to take a +2 Flamethrower into Dark Pulse. Unfortunately here I don't have... The Chopo Berry may not come in handy unless the Bishop has a fighting move for me. We'll see. Yeah, the Toxic Protect Zygarde, I did see this in mocks, but I didn't expect it to do... Like, I guess this is like where I like having more mock battles and having a little bit more... Hence a repeat of scenarios versus more like that with my team would have been important. But if I do play him in playoffs, I do at least have that knowledge right now that I am very prone to that set. But it's still not too difficult. It's not like undoable situation, because he does lack a really good way of revenging me. Like, he has to use apparently Vaporeon to get me worn down. And getting this Vaporeon like very low health is important for me, so I'll Dark Pulse here. This should do a lot to it. As he goes for a Wish. I'm a little surprised by that. Why would you go for a Wish there? Because now I could go for Nasty Plot, to be honest, and what is taking me on at that point? Oh, Nasty Plot. Like, what is taking me on at this point? As he flip turns. Like, now I'm at +4. Like, Bulu would have had to be Scarf at this point, but the way you did not go into it right now made me think it's not Scarf. Huh. How do you deal with this? Because I'm at the +4 right now, because I believe Tapu Bulu should die to me. He goes into Bam, which does get into full health right now. So I guess there is that to be worried about, but I need to break this thing down, and if it's not like heavily SPDF invested, I take it out. And knowing that how big of a threat this is to my team, I should go for it. So let's go for Dark Pulse. And this starts straight out, takes it out. Let's go, Hydreigon. The biggest threat, one of the biggest threat to my team is already gone in SlackOut. Okay. Nasty Blood Hydreigon, putting in the work. Here comes the Slowbro. I am at +4, buddy. I am at +4. I don't care if you're Colberry, I'm pretty sure I just pop you. Here comes a Dark Pulse, no Colberry to be seen. And it's dead. Like now I don't think I overthink about this. Is this a Hydreigon Nasty Plot sweep that we are looking at here? Oh my god, this looked a lot more obnoxious when that Psycho just 1v1 my Landorus, but this set. Alright, the Bulu is in. If you be preserving this Walloping Scarf all the time, I would be surprised, but I don't think that's the case. So we just go for Flamethrower. We do outpace it, no Occaberry. And they should be taking out it just fine. There we go, Hydreigon! Let's go! We are looking at potential Hydreigon sweep. That Hydreigon might get all the 6 kills. Oh my god, I love my favorite Pokemon, man. Let's go, the mascot and the T-Captain that we acquired at the trade deadline. Thank you, Dr. Slacking, for dropping it. Oh my god, we are going for another Flamethrower. Let's go! Oh, it's been too long that I've been able to pull something like this with my Hydreigon. Usually it's been like a Scarf or a Feather Set in my matchup or Choice Specs or what have you, but finally I get to use Nasty Plot that I got access to in this generation and really put out the finest of work with it. So the Bishop is dead. And the Tapu Bulu is dead, so it's just the Vaporeon. Oh my god. I can't believe it actually worked that well for me. Oh my god. Thank you to, I will say this, cause I know she mentioned this to me right away when I was asking ideas for this matchup. Thank you, Edison, for pointing out the Nasty Plot set right away. It was just a matter for me to decide that do I want to be Choco Berry, do I want to be Lumberry with it. In a hindsight, in a matchup, Lumberry looked a lot better with all the toxic potential in it. But I liked the Choco Berry as well in it for potentially like Hawlucha trying to revenge kill me. But that's gonna be it. Make sure to check out Lars aka Scizor. He is one of the like oldest names that you can find when it comes to like draft league scene wise, because he was part of the original draft league called the GPA. If you're newer to the draft league scene, make sure to check it out. Check him out and all those like former games throughout that generation if you're curious. He is one of the ones that I would be recommend to go see from there. And his run thus far in this season as well. He's been using a lot of like underutilized and underpriced Pokemon as well. And he's been able to utilize them in different ways. So make sure to check out my opponent, of course. And next week will be our final game in the regular season when we go up against Badass Frostlass. And that will be the one of our warm-up games, which I'm gonna be taking a lot more seriously. Unlike like last season, I remember like going into week 9 in a similar situation that I'm 6-2, I'm in playoffs. I should be okay. I don't have to stress about my last game. And then I got whooped in the week 9 battle back then. I got 6-0 by Porygon C. And hopefully that's not gonna be repeating itself. My opponent does not have Porygon C on that week, but I don't want to repeat the history that I'm taking week 9 battle too lightly when I'm comfortable. So I'm gonna be dialed in for that, having it as a good warm-up game going to playoffs. And thank you for watching, and I'm gonna be see you guys later.